How do I grow my business without compromising my ethics? I'm going to talk here about 10 questions you can ask yourself to make sure you're on the right track. Number one for me, assuming I'm in my role as an IT support business owner, what are my non-negotiables? Well, something which crops up for me is I won't sell unnecessary IT services. If I've got a business or a domestic client that has certain needs, I'm not going to go above and beyond that and sell them stuff they don't need. I'm not going to hide any risks from clients. If people choose to buy a second-hand machine off of eBay rather than buying a new machine from a reputable supplier, they are taking a risk. They will be compromising reliability for cost. I'm not going to sugarcoat any pills. I'm not going to compromise data security. I always have said to my clients, the rule of computing is only consider your data safe if it is in at least 3 independent locations. Question 2, a little bit brutal. Where am I compromising? Let's be real, none of us are perfect. So me, again, speaking as an IT business owner, when do I compromise? When I tolerate vague agreements. Oh, John, you're going to come in as soon as I ask you? Yeah, I can come in. I'll probably able to come in right away. Ooh, dangerous. So are you saying, John, that you don't have a calendar, you don't have a diary with appointments in that can't be shifted at a moment's notice? Tricky. I compromise when I underprice urgent support. This is related, really. If someone says, can you come over right now, it's urgent, I usually in the past have charged my standard call out rate. Not really good for the majority of my clients. It's not doing them a favor, because those people that shout the loudest and haven't prepared themselves are taken advantage by demanding this fast service. Watch out there. I compromise when I avoid difficult client conversations. Ouch. Gets to the heart of the matter there. If someone who I know is maybe, or I perceive is a bit struggling with cash flow in their business, and I know that the real solution is to invest in new kit, and I'm not having that difficult conversation, I'm saying, yeah, we can sort of keep it going another year or two, that should be fine. That's not really sticking to your integrity, is it? And moving on from that, question 3. Which opportunities cost integrity? Ooh, so would you take on a client, as this IT support person, would you take on a client that constantly ignores security basics? Oh, I don't need a strong password. Oh, I don't need a real password on this one at all. No one comes in this office. No, encryption slows the machine, doesn't it? And that's another layer of complexity I don't need. Dangerous again. Contracts that require misleading promises. Are you gonna sign a contract where the language gets woolly about the promises you make, about the SLA, the service level agreement that you make? Would you, in any business, take on business that exploits client confusion or maybe ignorance? So related to this, selling services that a client doesn't need, can you bamboozle your client, or would you bamboozle your client into just paying premium for a premium service when a basic service might do them? You can often build in integrity into your business through your standards and the business systems that are in place. So what standards in your business need systemizing. So for me, IT support, clear response time expectations, very strongly related to the coaching world. Everything works more smoothly with clear rules and boundaries. Transparent pricing and scope. My motto is truth, trust, and transparency. You will get truth, trust, and transparency together. So people will trust you the more transparent and honest you are about your pricing. What's included, what's not included, VAT, any delivery charges, any transport costs. Just be open about these things for ongoing trust, which will give you ongoing resilience as a business. And yeah, I often, again, a little bit of a compromise there, often not always, give my clients a document that states good business security practice. What's the equivalent in your business, and do you do that? Do you give your clients a piece of paper with a formal suggestion of what to do in your field? Which exceptions? Question number 5. Which exceptions become normal? So something happens once, it's a surprise. If it happens again, if it's beginning to become a habit, that is then part of your business. So honestly, John, do I catch myself doing unpaid extra work? Yes. What does that do for my brand and my integrity? Not so good, not so good. What do they say? You know, a treat isn't a treat if it's an expectation. Accepting last minute chaos. I have been guilty in the past, but again, going back to the coaching world, we must remember that our clients' failure to plan must not turn into our problem. It can turn into an opportunity if we make sure that our pricing reflects the urgency, but we cannot accept chaos being bled into our business. Do you let clients delay decisions? Guilty as charged. I've been consolidating clients recently, and I've given deadlines to do certain things which have been broken 4 or 5 times. Again, does this do me any good? Does this match my integrity? No, it does not. This practice of accepting delayed decisions must stop now. There's more. Question 6. What truth needs saying? Sometimes, as good old Al Gore said, there are inconvenient truths to be told that we all need to hear. Hi, Mr. Client. Your systems are in fact underprotected. You, you you haven't got a backup. You don't know where your backup is. You don't have a regular schedule for making the backups or checking them. Another one. Ooh. What I've done here today, it's just a temporary fix. We do need to invest some more time to get a really stable solution in place. That's going to require more investment in time and money moving forward. Today's fix is just a temporary measure. It's true in many businesses, especially in IT. Cheap IT support becomes expensive later. It's not just the IT support, but sometimes cheap hardware, especially if you're buying secondhand from unknown sources, that can become a pain later on. The other one is non-standard components or even devices. So if you choose something that seems to be a cheap unbranded device, could be like CCTV or a backup drive, hard drive or laptop, it may prove later on you can't get the parts and then you're stuck with a paperweight. Number 7, look at your business. Can your business culture sustain growth. And that means, have you got the processes in place that you know what you're doing with? So for me, yeah, as an IT business, if I wanted to grow the business, I couldn't do that without better processes in place, better systems in place. I couldn't grow my business if I didn't make sure that my standards, my core values as a business owner, stayed really clear. And yeah, it's always difficult to motivate staff, check for quality of work. So if I did want to have sustained growth in my IT support business, I would have to be very confident in maintaining disciplined delegation. Brutal question number 8. Where am I faking it? Where are my ethics just performative and not real? Where is it just an act? Back to security. Are the security suggestions I make just marketing? Ouch. It could be when my transparency and sort of related honesty disappears under urgency and deadlines. It's all about rushing. Say a decision made in haste is always the wrong decision. And there's something there as well, that my values are absolutely implicit in shaping my pricing structure. Is it fair? And question 9, like teaching your little children or grandchildren, you get the behavior you reward. So in my business, in your business, what behavior are you rewarding? Is it good behavior or is it bad behavior? Only you know. But in my business, sometimes I have been guilty of prioritizing a fast fix over prevention in the first place. It's related to one of the earlier questions, because sometimes your client doesn't want to have the conversation that prevention is better than a cure. Prevention is often cheaper than a cure as well. What behavior am I rewarding? So it's time consuming to educate your client, and often your client respect the value of the education you're giving them. They may have a little bit of resistance to paying for education, but sometimes they need to know bare essentials of computing. And what else am I guilty of? What behaviors am I rewarding? Something to do with this emergency work, reactivity over strategic planning. I have in the past been guilty of maybe thinking only a week ahead instead of months, or a quarterly plan for my business growth. And lastly here, concentrating on ethics in business. Look at yourself like NLP future pacing. Go a couple of years into the future. Would the future you approve of what you're doing now? So for me, that's going to be true only if I maintain the massive trust that I have at the moment. Looking back, am I going to be able to honestly say that all my IT clients were adequately protected from everything, all the risks to do with IT? And again, would my future me approve of me expanding the business at the risk of dropping my standards? That's my set of 10 questions. Now go through them for your own business. Good luck, everyone. Cheers.